How's everybody doing? I hope you're all well and staying safe. Do you know what I believe? I believe that slow and steady wins the race. Now, there is no doubt in my mind that there is going to be an end to this crisis that we have and an end that comes soon. And the world will look like a very different place because we've had the effects economically hit on a global scale. Each country's been hit differently. So people will have to change the way that they do things. But how much have you changed the way that you think to be able to change the way that you do things? Because there is always the excuse of not knowing what's going to happen, so therefore not knowing how to react. But if we all act in a reactionary way, then that only creates some chaos, really, doesn't it? Because we're just reacting to the actions of others reacting. And the circle continues to go round and round and round. But no one's actually paying sufficient attention to how it affects their life. I mean, let's take, for example, I'm a firm believer in doing what makes you happy. You have one life. You should do what makes you happy in it. And we've had a lot of advice on self-care, which is great. You know, some of us are learning to dance, some of us are learning to cook. My daughter's cooking up a storm every night. My son is learning how to code. It's what makes you happy. But at the end of the day, we have to consider that at some point, this will all end and a new normal will be established. And we have to fit somehow into this. Now, I'm doing that, but people who know me will know I'm no fan of fitting into a box. That is getting no one anywhere quickly. What I mean is fit into your box. What would ideally your box look like? Because we're not tied anymore by the old style in which I'm not quite old enough for this, but there was a time in life in the UK where everybody went to school with reading and writing being the main thing to enable them to carry out a trade. Okay, so everybody aimed for a trade, which is great because trades do have a lot of lucrative opportunities there. I'm a big fan of tradesmen and women. What would you want to do? Because that whole education system has continued in which everybody is trained to read and write to be able to carry out a job, which is nice. You know, it pays the bills, but surely life is worth a little bit more attention. So this is why it's necessary. And I promote this to my kids constantly. They say, Mum, what would you want me to be? I suppose a doctor or a lawyer. And I say, I want you to be anything that keeps a smile on your face. But I insist on you being able to read, write, communicate, and be kind and respectful to people so that when you're out there in the world without me, and there will be a point when you are out there in the world without me, you can get by, you can eat, you can sleep, you'll always have a roof over your head. Hopefully one day, yes, I am saying it, I want grandchildren. I want future generations to be able to eat, sleep, have a roof over their head, live as a respectful citizen, do not disrespect others and they don't have to disrespect you. You know, simple little things, they're the foundations. But what would you have added on top of that to take real control of the new normal? Make the new normal your new normal. If you saw my post this morning, my new normal is pretty much the same as the new normal I've had since I was 15 years old. And that is, I like to get up early to embrace all that the day has for me. And that doesn't mean I get up early and go bam. It means I get up early and think about what I need to get done today. Not what I can put off until tomorrow. That just comes out at the bottom of what I need to get done today. And that way, things are always getting done. And I'm always building. I'm always reaching for the next bar. I'm always looking at what comes next. What can I give back to the world? What can the world bring to me today? That is how we start to take control of the new normal and not sitting there waiting to hear the news in the evening and what the government suggests that we do next. Our children are really looking to us for direction, and we owe it to them to give them that direction, to show them what makes sense and what doesn't. In order to be able to do that, we need to now start waking up, setting our objectives, and having a basis for advising our kids. Not like the government, in which we get in mixed messages every day and they can be interpreted in different ways and are likely to change next week. We need to make informed decisions, and decisions that can stand whatever happens in the future. Because at the end of the day, we are in a pandemic now. A pandemic will come again in the future. This isn't going to be the last one. We are heading towards a recession now. More recessions will come in the future. This won't be the last one. There's no need for panic. Let's just make plans and get this done. Okay, let's just take control and make a success of the economy, make success of the society we have to live in. In the meantime, have a good afternoon, and I will speak to you again tomorrow.